Cauldron Lake.
Previously on Alan Wake.
Where are you?
How to escape. In danger. The dark presence.
Danger. Thanks. Got it. Hey! Are you okay?
No! It's my fault! He got out with my face scratch!
Sir, calm down. I'm gonna need you to take a breath.
He's changed the story. The dark presence. We must stop it before...
Easy now. First things first. What's your name?
My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer. I've been...
Wake? Where did you come from? You've been missing for 13 years.
13.
Anders, where did you go? All of a sudden the radio stopped working and then that flooding just disappeared. Crazy forest.
I like how Casey seems angry at the forest of all things.
Is this who I think it is?
Casey, say hello to Alan Wake. Mr. Wake, this is Special Agent Alex Casey. He'll escort you to our car. Casey, I'll meet you there, right after I take a look around. If the flooding's receded, there might be evidence we missed earlier.
Okay. See you there.
Alex Casey? How? Am I still... Is this the dark place? No, it can't be. I got out.
Yeah, the PI from your books has the same name as me. Great. Moving on. It's a bit of a hike to the car, Wake. Get your bearings, then we'll head out.
I need another minute. Cauldron Lake. I thought I'd never see this place again.
Take your time, but you should know these woods aren't the safest.
Yeah.
Should look around. With the flooding gone, could be further clues out there.
You have a flashlight?
The flooding disappeared very suddenly. I wonder if there's any connection to the overlap. To Nightingale.
Ooh, that Nightingale fight, it took a lot of ammo. What a beautiful lake. The lighting, it's Alan Wake, which there really shouldn't be lighting, but it's so pretty. There's some mutilated deer, that's awful. Why? What is the meaning of this? It's enough looking at mutilated deer, I suppose, but they're supposed to be celebrating them. Also, hello! Welcome to anybody that decided to watch me play and see a mutilated deer. Just a day in the life of Saga Anderson.
A locked box. Is that the cult of the tree
I like these a
symbol on
lot. It's like Simon. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, too.
it? Notes and ammo.
Let's see.
Looks like they're tools of the trade. The
Remember,
cult
they
doesn't
look
see
like
their
us, but
victims as
they ain't.
people.
They're like animals, and it's our job to hunt them and gut them. Interesting. Interesting. That's a cult thing. So at this point, I don't know. The player will know what the Taken are, unless it's the first. This is the first Alan Wake game. And it seems like that's obviously a cult box, but it seems like they're hunting Taken. So why? can quick turn quickly by pressing backwards twice. Alright. I don't know if I knew that. I don't know how helpful that is, but it's good to know. Uh-oh. I don't know if I want to fight this. There's another deer. Maybe those are taking down deer. Oh, dear. I want to go back up to the car, really. You should be able to just walk up with them. I'm not particularly interested in doing anything on the way there. And in fact, I'll probably edit out everything on the way to the car. So, yeah, I don't know. Private cabin, Witchfinder station. I wonder where the entrance to the DLC is. I guess I'll find that out eventually, but I am kind of excited to play it. Although... Oh god. Guess I might as well bust that out. What's the way up there? Oh, I guess they're making me fight it. I really don't... Oh, shoot. Where is it? The fun of taking a couple days off is that I have forgotten all the controls. Did I get him?
Even the animals are turning into monsters.
Monsters. Oh, man. Okay. Well, at least now I can say... I can edit. Well, let me check this out. And then... Alright. What does this say? Is this a new page? I would love a new page. That would be amazing. Saga burns away the dark substance.
Back at Witch's Ladle, Saga pointed the flashlight at the strange, dark substance. The same substance Nightingale had left at the morgue. There was something hidden under it. She strained to see. The opposite of sunspots in her eyes. Blacker than black. Suddenly a change. The light reacted to the substance. A feedback loop, surging up her arm. Saga squeezed the flashlight, willing it to penetrate the dark matter. Burn it away.
The opposite of sunspots is an interesting phrase. I don't know exactly what that means or implies, but I mean, obviously it's getting at that there's a good amount of darkness, because sunspots are... They're like a cooler part of the sun, where I guess light isn't there. Maybe that is the opposite, where light kind of shines out of the darkness instead. I'm sure I'll hear it again, and it might shed a little bit more light. Pun intended on
The
that.
cult is leaving supplies around for themselves.
Light bulb. Oh, I don't know. Nightingale's heart? Why do I still... It's used. That's really funny. No. Okay, that's fine. It's... Okay. Check the light. Arrow, arrow. I can open this, though. I've gotten very far off track and lost, so... I think Saga hunted Nightingale last time at night. So I think now it's officially during the day. Alright, there's a lot of arrows there, so that's probably a tutorial box. And here it is. Alright. Sometimes the hardest thing is to find them again after you've actually gotten off track. The cult is watching right now. Oh, they can watch me take their stuff. Okay, so I just follow this trail just straight. I'm so glad that I've learned to edit because I can make it go away like there's nothing.
Mr. Wake, we're taking you back to our field office in Bright Falls. You can freshen up there, and then we'll talk properly.
Hey, Mom. Before you say anything, I'm totally fine. Don't freak out. Dad shouldn't have even texted you.
Logan? No one texted me. What's going on?
I'm totally fine. I slipped, that's all. God, it's not the end of the world.
Put your father on the phone.
Okay. Dad, it's Mom.
Don't worry, hon. Logan slipped in the shower and bumped her head. She has a slight concussion, but I'm keeping an eye on her. Lucky I heard her fall. She could have drowned.
Jesus, David. Why didn't you call?
I tried. It didn't go through. She's fine, really. But what about you? You sound stressed.
No, it's, just weird case, that's all.
Well, if you need a hint, my years of board game victories tell me Colonel Mustard did it.
I'll keep an eye out for him. Love you, Dave.
Love you too, honey. Want to say bye to Logan?
Just tell her I love her. Bye for now.
It's Colonel Mustard in the conservatory with the revolver, always. It's 100% Twin Peaks. 100%.
Is there anyone you'd like us to reach out to, Mr. Wake? You've been gone a long time.
No. No. They'd be in danger. It'll come for me.
Okay, let's talk about something else. Robert Nightingale. Do you know him? You were both here in 2010.
The Dark Presence got him back then. That's the last time I saw him. 13 years. Oh, fuck me.
Tell us about the pages. You had what looks like a title page with you. Return. Is this the name of the story on these pages? The writer's name has been scratched out pretty violently, but your name can still be made out underneath.
Scratched out. Yeah. Scratch.
No one knows what that means, Alan. That has no significance.
Did you write these pages, Mr. Wake?
I'm trying to remember. It's a crazy jumble, like a nightmare. It doesn't make sense. I remember.
Thank you. Welcome. Well, we have a great show for you here tonight. Alan Wake is here. Alan Wake, one of my all-time favorite writers and guests on the show. He's here to talk about his latest book. And as usual, our house band, old gods of Asgard, is here. Take it away, you crazy Vikings!
Was I on a talk show tonight? Waking up in places with no memory of how I'd gotten there. It was out of control. I didn't need another mugshot in the fucking tabloids.
I love how
Had I
spooky
already done the show? Was that a recording?
love how spooky this place is. It's so good. It's got a really good just grungy atmosphere, like, I don't know, like it's just desolate, isolated, forgotten. A studio, but not a studio. He's also got the best terrified and completely lost and confused expressions. Gotten that nailed.
Good to see you, Alan. Great to see you. Welcome back to the show. Come on, sit down. Woo! Oh, man. It is so good to see you, Alan. This must be an exciting time for you. Tell me, does it ever get old?
Sorry, does what get old?
Publishing a new book. Are you okay there, my friend? You look like you've been cooped up in the writer's room for a few too many years.
This is exactly how I feel.
You know, I've waited so long to get my hands on the sequel to Departure. You left us on quite the cliffhanger. We've all been dying to know what "it's not a lake, it's an ocean" really means.
You and me both.
Well, our wait is over. Your new book, Initiation, hits the shelves tomorrow.
What?
That's exactly what every reader will be asking. This book is mind-bending. It's so cerebral. I mean, how would you describe it? An auto-fictional thought experiment? A horror story? A postmodern detective story?
Wait. This isn't right. I haven't written anything.
He's so humble.
Okay, you got me. Good prank, very funny. But yeah, sad to say, I've not written this. I'd remember if I'd written a book, right?
Or maybe it was written by your evil double. Well played, man! That is spot on! Playing the role here. Pretending the world of the book overlaps our own. That's very meta indeed. You see, Initiation tells the story of a fictional writer named Alan Wake, who is trapped in a nightmare, desperately trying to find the manuscript of a novel he has forgotten he has written. The book is set in New York, but it might not be New York at all. He is tormented by his dark doppelganger and guided by visions of a fictional detective he has written. That's right, Alex Casey is in this book as well.
I guess we'll just keep doing this the whole show. The joke's on me.
But isn't that what you sign up for with autofiction? No, but seriously, I found the structure of the reality you build in the book fascinating. It reminded me of The Matrix. I mean, the writer is physically in his writer's room, trapped there, and he projects himself out to this dark dream of New York through the story he is writing. Like astral projection. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Go on. I should be taking notes here. This is great stuff.
Notes to that other Alan Wake in that room writing this as we speak? Are we all in your story, Alan? Wow. No, I wish you every success with your new book, Alan. I hope it's as successful as your best-selling Alex Casey series. Initiation hits the shelves tomorrow. After this, I'm sure we'll all be eagerly awaiting the culmination of this hero's journey trilogy of yours. A book called Return, perhaps. Yeah, thank you for one of the strangest interviews of my entire career, Alan. All this talk of meta-narratives. I'm expecting to disappear once this scene ends.
I love absolutely their
Hello?
use of Remedy's use of
Losing it. Something's not right here. I needed to get home to Alice.
I love Remedy's use of like live action mixed in with the gameplay. I I have some thoughts after watching that, because I think that's a very important scene.
What the hell was that interview? Some kind of joke? Initiation? I never wrote a book called Initiation. This felt like a bad dream. Could make a good horror story.
It just... Is this the right way to go? I don't know that it is. I think that... I mean, it will all depend on how the story ends and how important that scene was or not. But it definitely feels to me like it's looping around with Control, with the talk of astral projection. But Door asks, like, are we in your story, Alan? He described the book as a fictional writer.
Gods of Asgard. That name sounded familiar.
Said that it's autobiographical. I don't know. There have been some things that have changed from the first Alan Wake. Like Jagger described as a witch instead. Tom Zane was originally a poet, and then I think he becomes a filmmaker. Things changed from that one to this one, and I don't know exactly why, but I have gotten...
It was a mess. I'd never heard of this talk show or Mr. Door before. None of it felt right. Was I losing my mind?
Like, Sam Lake is clearly a character here. I kind of just get the impression more and more I see this, that maybe Alan... Obviously, he wrote the horror story, but did Alan create the character of Alan Wake that's writing the story? Did Alan Wake, or maybe even Tom Zane, since he was the first one that disappeared, did they create the Alan Wake character that is the antagonist to this story? I don't know, because I think here, this Alan is clearly an antagonist and just setting things in motion to kind of terrorize everybody else, loop other people in, write them a bad ending, and go back to the beginning to resolve it all again. Maybe the DLC will answer things a little bit more clearly, so I don't know. My Interpretation of Many Worlds by Dr. Casper Darling. What a great character he is. That ties in with Control for sure. Alright, it's the neighbor of the beast.
Time is broken here. Maybe time never worked the way we think it does. It loops around it. And yet it goes forward. A spiral. I thought it was finding remnants of the earlier loops, earlier drafts of my writing. The murder sites that I had left clues, mementos for myself to guide me on, but maybe that's only part of it. If telling is not a straight line, then there are loops beyond these loops. Vast complex superstructures beyond what's happening to me now, ahead of me. And I'm there as well, a version of me, something. I have become some elevated, enlightened virgin, an archon, a demiurge, a demon of some sort playing a secret game, building something as past self upon to get him there. A deus ex machina pushing me there. I hate the idea of crazy, intrusive thought. And yet, no crazier than anything else here.
Which version of myself was I? Where was I in this grand loop?
Where was I in the loop? I mean, isn't he both at the same time and neither? Whatever he needs to be at a certain time? I don't know. It's exciting to maybe be able to piece it together. No. Huh. Here. Well, it's clear that there is a supernatural thing going on.
There was something in the studio with me. I had to get out.
the dark presence is very real, and I think that the lake is a place of power.
Waking up from the nightmare, I felt like a drowning man gasping for air. This place felt familiar. A ghost of a memory surfaced, about riding here for countless days.
I always thought that those windows looked like portholes on a boat, like the underwater part. I don't think that they are. Maybe they are. But it just seemed like it would be submerged because he was supposed to be at the bottom of the lake riding, but who knows?
A plot board for mapping out a story. On the index cards, the nightmare that just happened to me. A summary of the story so far. But other notes as well. Warnings. I had written them. I couldn't remember what it all meant. The name Scratch filled me with dread. I could trust these words. I had to act on them. You must write to escape.
I think there is a sense of of reality to the characters. I think it's significant that, I don't know, they all seem to be real characters. Nightingale, Saga, Alex Casey in the real world, maybe. But it does also seem that the closer they get to the lake, the more there's kind of like a bubble surrounding it that actually, it kind of like blocks out the influence of the real world and shapes things. Influences reality coming in and out of there.
I didn't remember much, but I knew my thoughts and ideas could manifest as reality in this dark place. I'd use my writing to project myself out of this room, like a deep sea diver to go deeper and explore the depths of this prison for a way out. This room was my boat. Writing was my lifeline. I would start again at the talk show.
We have a great show for you here tonight. We'll treat all you Alex Casey fans out there. Alex Casey himself is here tonight. That's right. Sam Lake, ladies and gentlemen. The actor who has given his face to the famous detective in the film series. And of course, we have Alan Wake here. The best-selling writer the books, the films are based on. Let's do this!
And in the end, the old gods of Asgard kind of pop in, so are they kind of working with Dor to guide him to where he needs to be? That's clear and pretty explicit, I think, but to what extent are they pushing things along?
Welcome back to the show. So, Alan, as the creator of the character, how do you feel about this?
Sorry, what?
I know it can be an awkward question with the man sitting right next to you, but I mean, how do you feel about him in the role of Casey? Does he look the part to you?
He looks exactly like I always imagined Casey to be. It's uncanny.
Thank you. That means so much to me. I'm a huge fan of your books.
So, what's the problem, Alan? Because on more than one occasion, you voiced your reservations about the adaptations.
It's not that. They're their own thing. They've gone with choices that are different from mine.
I feel protective about my stories, and these adaptations... I don't know, I guess I just wish I could have been more involved in making them.
Well, in that case, you won't have seen this either. We have a clip from the new film, Murder Case Casey. Should we roll it, or do you want to say something first, Sam?
Nah, just roll it.
This city was an old scar that refused to heal. The rain made it fester. It needed the sun, but there was only the night. I was tired. Insomnia covered me like a plastic film. I was watching the world through a rain-slick window, my own reflection haunting the view. I was trying to track down a missing writer. My only clue was a table lamp, shaped like an angel. The only thing that shed light on this sordid mystery.
That's great! Murder Case Casey! Great job, Sam. Very exciting and very meta. I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Wait, stop. What was that about a writer? About a lamp?
So, Sam Lake, through Alex Casey, Alan Wake's creation, gives him the clue about the lamp that he needs to find and sets him on the loop again. So it's clear that they are pushing him in a different way, but he's maybe a little resistant to it. They asked him about adaptations, and Alan said, well, I don't agree with some of the decisions that other people made because I had no control. Their choices were different from mine. So maybe they need to push him to externally influence him, but also not kind of like make it seem like they're calling the shots. It needs to be authentic to Alan, I guess, which does more or less make sense with what he said in the first, I think this is going to be wrong. Yep, okay. With what he said in the first book, because it needs to be authentic to a horror story, so it needs to be authentic to Alan Wake, but maybe through each loop and each cycle, iteration, then he needs to be pushed a little further. 665? 5, 6, 5. Try that. Okay. Five, 6, 5. I think that's likely. So, I mean, there are clearly other actors besides Alan Wake. But do they have influence over the story? I think they do, but I think they only have influence over the story if they play along with it and guide things, insert new realities and possibilities.
Hello?
I think it's most likely that there is a deeper version of everything, way beyond the loop or the spiral.
Ah, Lorraine! There you are, Tom. Oh, not so much evil that not a bit of good as well. Not one without the other. Good to see you.
Great animations on Ahti.
Hey, I can't seem to find my way out of here. Can you point me to the exit?
No totta helvetissä. Of course, Tom. The work will instruct its maker. I was gonna get something from the basement for you, but you can get it yourself now. The more cooks, the worse the soup.
What do you want me to get from the basement? And my name's Alan, not Tom.
Ja, mutta katsoppa, a man, but a man with a tool makes two, Tom. Eikö niin? And a man with a tool can build his own exit. It's in a shoebox, in the basement where you left it. Safe as in the Lord's purse. Here's the key.
Have we met before? Are you trapped in the dark place too?
You remember Ahti, the janitor. You can't be lost if you don't worry about where you are headed. So don't worry, Tom. The sun will shine even into a heap of twigs. Just remember to turn on the lights. It won't take long when you get to work.
I've been trying to find a way to escape the dark place. Any suggestions?
He who mouths about his troubles is the prisoner of his troubles. It's not easy to get out. But don't you worry, Tom. The home is still there where the heart is. I often think about it when I mop the floor and look into the puddle. Water is the memory of the world. Water finds its way.
The janitor was a bit out there, but still a friendly face.
That's not wrong.
I had to trust the basement would get me out of here.
There are so many stories about like paranormal stuff where they do say that water holds a memory. Where do I go? Basement. All right, here we go. That was something that was brought up in PT, I think, which I think it's interesting that I'm playing that alongside with Silent Hill, because I do see parallels between the two. Weirdly enough. Overlapping realities, or side by side anyway. I don't really know what the deal is with Silent Hill. Or here, really. Like, is Alan Wake a character? Is he the author? Is he just a creation that's creating?
The talk show host?
Good evening. A writer trapped in a dream world attempts to write a story to shape reality around him and escape. He is beset by visions leaking in from realities beyond his own. He uses those visions as inspiration for his stories, in hopes of giving them power, to make them come true. Us, hidden few, know that ultimately he will succeed. But before that, many of his stories collapse back into the stuff that dreams are made of, to remain as they began, works of fiction. And yet, maybe there is a gleam of truth to be unearthed from these tales. Rare glimpse into the unseen realities beyond our own, offering us intriguing avenues of contemplation as they transpire in Night Springs.
In Night Springs. Night Springs season intro. Interesting. Night Springs commercial. I think that's a very interesting thing that they brought up there. Alan Wake, what did they say? Realities? He's influenced from realities beyond his control? I mean, you can say that there's extra dimensional stuff, but we know that Bright Falls is kind of in a bubble because of how Saga's interacting outside of it with her family that is getting kind of further and further away from...
in a shoebox. Was this what the janitor had left for me?
No, that's what Sam Lake did, I think. So I think maybe what that Twilight Night Springs implies is that maybe Alan Wake is a creation that somehow gotten away from the creator and is looping in other things from outside to ruin them. That's kind of my thought process right now anyway. Alan Wake, the writer, is actually the product of something, and is kind of in a very detrimental way looping in other stuff that gets around his orbit.
The lamp felt significant.
Altering it.
A tool for bringing light to the darkness. I felt a magnetic pull between the lamp and the light overhead. Whoa! When the light jumped into my lamp, the whole room changed, like something in a dream. Opening a way forward, the lamp was humming. The bulb glowed. It held the light now. The glow in the lamp went out, shifting the light in the room. The light carved out something new from the darkness.
I think anyway that goes a little bit towards explaining maybe Door's influence here. I do think that Door maybe came in from the outside world somehow, the real world, and maybe is pushing Alan, but I have no idea. That's just a working theory right now.
The dark place wants to drown me. I'm losing myself. I have to fight it. I have to remember the clicker, the light switch. I lost it, but I have the lamp now. The lamp the switch was cut from. This place is a nightmare. Not real, and yet more real than anything. The danger and the horror are real. It feeds off my mind, twisting whatever it takes into psychotic reality. I'm trapped here. I write to escape. I've tried this many times, written countless stories, forgotten how many. I keep failing, but I must keep trying. I use the story to dive deeper. Every word I write is a step forward on this spiral in the darkness. I dive to the body to find the answer, the map, and the key, the compass. It's combined to form a door leading out. But how do you open a door that's not a door? At the bottom of an ocean that's not an ocean, and a lake that's not a lake.
Who left the lamp again? Was it Ahti or was it Sam Lake? Or was it Mr. Door that implied the existence of it, which kind of brought it into reality? Was the lamp mentioned in the first one? The clicker was. The clicker was mentioned in the first one, but I don't know that it said that there was a lamp actually, but I feel like that's the type of thing where they write it into existence and use it to progress.
The payphone was ringing. Somehow I knew the call was for me.
Wheeler Street and Ocean Avenue. There's a place off Ocean Avenue where I used to sit, talk with you.
Hello?
Alan Wake?
Yes.
Do you know who I am?
No? Who is this?
We'll get to that later. There are spies all over. Shadows.
A sense of deja vu washed over me. Had I had this conversation before?
Alan, listen to me carefully. Caldera Street Station, the subway. You need to go there. I'll call you again later. Make sure to pick up.
Do I know you? I know you from somewhere.
You've just forgotten again. We're in this together. Don't worry. I got it now. We've been working. Great.
I'm losing you. Hello? Hello?
The man had said Caldera Street Station. I had to go there.
We'll go exactly there, but next time. See you in the next one. Thanks again. Have a good night. Bye.